Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you got a moment, subscribe. I was looking at some old pictures and things when I first came here, and I realized something. You can make a difference in people's lives, people surrounding you. You know, it was a learning experience for me. So when I was talking to Grace online, I wanted to send my computer here before, I was going to send it ahead of time. This was in, I think, November, something like that, of 2009. And I was asking her about the electricity. She didn't know anything, naturally. I said, show me a plug-in. Well, she showed me a plug-in. It looked like a standard US plug-in. He said, well, okay, no problem. I had at the time, it was fairly new, what they called a mini desktop. It was a small HP desktop compact. And it was a decent computer. I had modified it, extra memory and so forth, extra hard drive. I had actually took it up to almost, well, at the time, 1 terabyte in hard drives. With the combination of two 500 gig hard drives. And I really enjoyed my PC. So I shipped it. I thought it'd be here by the time I got here, because I wasn't planning on leaving to December 31. I'd already scheduled my flight. And when I arrived, my computer still hadn't showed up. I ended up sending it U.S. mail. That was the most affordable way of sending it. The price that other places ask, I could have bought a PC. Still cost me $150. And I sent some accessories along with it, everything but a monitor. I figured a monitor would be easy to acquire here. They finally arrived in March. 4.5 months, something like that. But I did get it. It was undamaged. So I was in the process of finding a monitor. One of Grace's cousins had a monitor available. So we borrowed it until I could purchase one. Well, I set the computer up and I plugged it in. You know what happened. I was unaware of 220 volts, even after being here for a couple of months. So I didn't have anything 110 that I was plugging up, or wasn't variable voltage. And it blew the power supply on my computer. Well, getting a power supply here in the Philippines was impossible. And what I actually done was to purchase a power supply for a normal PC, which was good because they're more wattage. And I had to modify, take the wiring harness and adapt it to the new power supply because it was different. I forgot how many pins it was. It's been so long ago. So I spent a day with these little tiny wires and a soldering iron, modifying and plugged to get that power supply to work. I finally got it all soldered and neatly put in place, and I mounted it to the top of the PC because it wouldn't fit inside. Because the original power supply was long and slender, all probably 6-7 inches long, about this wide, so forth. And the big power supply, there's no way it's going to fit in that case. And it actually worked. You learn something. No, I had no clue. Going back on some memories, And in the meantime, after I got my computer up and running, I contacted my friend Steve, and he's wondering what happened to me because I'd been a long time being online. I'd just run to the computer shops from time to time, contact family and so forth. And I'd message him, and of course, he was busy, so by the time he got the message, I wasn't online. And talking to him, and I said, ask him if he could find me a power supply because I know he's coming to the Philippines. And he found one it was cheap. I think $30, something like that, an original power supply. So I finally got the original when Steve finally showed up a year later. But that's a little history on my computer experience when I first arrived. The reason I wanted my computer, I was using a Skype phone number. I actually had a Kentucky phone number, local number, so I could contact family members. Because, at that time, early days, not everybody had a computer and so forth to do messaging. It was early years. A lot has changed since then. Now, my phone has a Viber on it. I use it to call the States, and it costs me $2 a month. I think it is 99 pesos. Not hardly $2. It's about 85 cents, I think, a month. And that's cheap, and I keep it alive so I can make calls when necessary. But looking at these pictures, I was thinking, Grace's sisters. Remember, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you can make a difference. I was looking at how poor health they was in. They were very thin, undernourished, even Grace. And if you look at them now, I'll use the baby sister for an example. Now, Grace is only 4'7". Dominga is roughly right at 5 foot. And Sally is also around 4'7". But see, Dominga and Sally were 15 and 16 at the time when I got here. So it was late in their growing spurt, as they say. But Maylin, she was only 9-year-old at the time. I don't have a recent picture of her right now that I can actually put up. But anyway, she's the tallest one of the group. She's probably 5'2". And their skin tones and texture, it's just a big difference. You can make a difference. Also looking at some of the simple things. I remember looking at it the first Christmas I was sharing. We probably spent for the family maybe $100 at that time. if that much. I know it wasn't much. Couldn't afford a whole lot. And the excitement and everything was overwhelming. They were so, it just unreal just how much they lit up over simple things. 50-cent watch and a pair of flip-flops, $1, something like that, things of that nature, a t-shirt. You would have thought they got a bar of gold. That's the expressions they had. You can make a difference. And speaking of that, I'm hoping after we get our project over with, that maybe we can do something again this year for Christmas. At this point in time, it's not looking good. But we'll see. We'll see how things turn out. There's a few things I really need. But I might have to put those on hold. I probably will. But we do make a difference here in our community. I know you're not seeing much going on, but the big change, the thing we're doing for our community, the people working on my house are locals, so they live here in the community. So I'm still supporting the community. One of my workers that was here in the beginning, he was actually going to college, and after he worked a couple of weeks or 3, something like that, he informed us that he had to go back to school, and we had to get another helper, which was no problem. We got a young man that actually lives behind us. It's actually Clifford's brother. That's the kid that can't hear and doesn't speak. So he's working, taking up the slack. And he's a good worker. All these boys are. They stay steadily doing something. So you can make a difference. It's all in attitude. I love living here. And looking at these pictures show me something I've took for granted. I've made a difference. Example, one of Grace's uncles. At that time, he was in the early stage of doing his own business and was struggling. And we helped out a little bit from time to time. And he's very successful now. And so is his kids. His kids got families of their own now. That's how much change we made. And they're all doing well. The daughter, she's actually in college and being trained to work in customs. So we did make a difference. That might not have been possible if I hadn't showed up. But I don't know if he would have survived in his business trying to get started. And I guess you're wondering what he was. He actually was doing what they call chicken tie. And it's a small rope that's got a swivel in it that they put around a chicken's foot, and they tie the chicken up. That's how they keep chickens instead of a coop, inexpensive way of doing things. And he has a big business doing that. I mean, he makes darn good money at it. But it took time. He actually now, he don't do his own personal deliveries now. I think he still does some, but not like he did in the past. He actually wholesales them out to other people. And it's prestigious work. I mean, putting this stuff together and doing a quality job. You know, I watched them make them, and it's impressive. You know, at the detail they go through to make these. Even the swivels are custom made. They're pretty ingenious people, and it's impressive to watch them do things, what they come up with. Even my carpenter, you know, he all the time doing things that, you know, well, I said, that's pretty neat. And I've also showed him a few easier ways of doing things too. I've got kind of spoiled him a little bit with, you know, the air gun for putting the trim work back up, and my cordless drill, no wire. He really put it to work. Can't believe that little cheap drill has how much it's done. I didn't, you know, I wouldn't expect it to hold up. If it would break down today, I couldn't say anything negative about it. It's just a $30 drill that comes with 2 batteries. And it works all day long, almost nonstop. So we went through, I'm trying to remember how many boxes of screws we went through. I know of 7 boxes. There's 1,000 screws in each box. So 7,000 screws putting this hardy board up. So that's pretty impressive. So, but he's enjoyed that. And I've also, you know, I've had things on hand that he's used. So I keep electrical tape, one thing and another, hand tools, you know, screwdrivers and things of that nature he's had to use. I actually need to get some more of those. The ones I've got, I've about wore them out. I've had them so long, I've just not took time out to buy more. But the whole purpose of this video, to be honest with you, is that you can make a difference. And I enjoy doing that. I look at it and I see all these kids that are grown now with families grown and they're living a good life, you know, and then got solid work and, you know, Grace's sisters, they're doing good. One's in the United States, married, she's working. She's actually a U.S. citizen now. That's how long she's been there. And Maylin, she's working for a good company. She's working for Timex. And Dominga is the only one that's still here with us, which she'll be more than likely probably end up in UK more than likely. That's what I suspect because she's got a fiance. But I've made a difference. So folks, if you watch me this long, subscribe. And thank you.